Doesn't take BS from anybody, and he's always looking out for you. He's Isaiah, and this is The Factor Uncensored.
Well, guys, guess who's back? They let me out on bail. It's Isaiah Factor Uncensored, and we have an all-new home right here at Union Kitchen on Bel Air. We can show some of the people here in the audience. Give it up, people. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. We have a great show going on for you. We have great topics, we have great guests, and an all-new look for the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. So make sure you stay with us until 10 o'clock. We're going to kick it off with the Factor Rundown. Let's roll the Factor Rundown with the latest in our community. The teenager who shot and killed a man for his Nike tennis shoes was found guilty in a capital murder case here in Houston. This is what you call a senseless crime over foolishness. A jury has returned the guilty verdict, sending Neil Bland to prison for life without parole after he shot and killed Joshua Woods over a pair of $189 Air Jordans 2 years ago. Two more dummies connected to the murder go on trial later this month. One person is recovering after being shot during a robbery in Angleton. Nosy as Sky Fox was in the air getting the story as we typically do. The shooting happened 6:30 this morning at the Panaderia Taqueria on Anderson Road. Investigators say the victim was shot in the stomach and taken by live flight to the hospital. The two bad guys, as they typically do, ran away, but that didn't last long. The cops got them. Houston police need your backup to help find a missing 17-year-old who could be in danger. Marlenia Matthews was last seen on February 2nd. She has both bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and has not taken her meds. She might be in the area of Royal Palms Apartments off Griggs Road in southeast Houston. Call the police department if you have any information. This is one of those dumb moments. The Harris County Sheriff's Office had to actually put out a policy telling their deputies and investigators, do not have sex with the people you're investigating or who may play a role in an investigation. Really? This comes after a Harris County investigator laid up with a woman who was at the center of the Deputy Darren Goforth murder investigation. They actually put that on paper. Don't sleep with the witnesses. This is why you have to be careful who you sleep with. Texas health officials announced a patient in Dallas contracted the Zika virus after having sex with an infected person who recently traveled to Venezuela. It's just hard to have sex these days. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Siri is in Atlanta on what you need to do to keep yourself safe.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is taking new action to combat Zika, issuing interim guidelines to ward off sexual transmission of the virus. Pregnant women are being urged to talk with healthcare providers about any potential exposure their male partners may have had, and condom use is encouraged if a partner has been in areas with active Zika virus transmission.
If you're pregnant and you live in the continental U.S., please don't go to a place where Zika is spreading. If you live in a place where Zika is spreading, please protect yourself against mosquito bites.
The agency is also recommending expectant mothers without symptoms be tested for the virus after returning from an affected area. The CDC lists 30 countries and territories where active transmission is taking place. Most people infected with Zika do not experience any symptoms, but public health officials suspect it's linked with birth defects in Brazil. Even though we know Zika can be spread through sex and blood transfusions, it is still most commonly transmitted by mosquito bites. Health officials are calling for travelers to do all they can to protect themselves.
Wear DEET. You have to reapply it several times a day. Wear long sleeve shirts and long sleeve or long pants. Use clothing that's treated with permethrin. And all of those things are safe in pregnancy.
The World Health Organization has classified Zika as a global health emergency. Emergencies have also been declared in Florida and Puerto Rico. In Atlanta, Jonathan Siri, Fox News.
And Donald Trump is acting like a big boy now. He says he will attend the next televised debate put on by Fox News. You know, he was pouting because Megyn Kelly was asking him tough questions like, what's 2 + 2? Anyway, Trump says he will be there on March 3rd, even with Megyn Kelly there. That's it for the Factor Rundown. Now, that's what's happening in our community today, and we have a real budget this year. We are going all the way out. We're going straight to San Francisco with the Hot Topics and AC Angela Chen. She is live in San Francisco with the Super Bowl. How you doing, Angela?
Isaiah, good to hear your voice. These are the hot topics of the day with your personal AC over here. Okay, we're talking about two major games going on nationally this weekend, or leading up to next week. First, of course, we've got the primaries in New Hampshire politically. That's on Tuesday, but you know what? We're focused on the game this weekend, and that is, of course, the Super Bowl. We've been following the Super Bowl committee from Houston around. They've been looking at San Francisco, what they're doing. And you know what? I've got someone who actually knows a little bit more about what's going on here. Welcome. And thank you for sitting down with us. We've got Sylvester here, Mayor, of course. Now, talk to me about what's going on here. What have you been seeing? What have you learned from what they're putting on here?
Well, look, there's a lot of excitement in San Francisco. Number one, it's a fun place, okay?
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot of people here. But at the same time, I had an opportunity to kind of go to the NFL Experience today in the Media Center.
Very fun.
A lot of activity. Was on the show with Joel and Victoria Osteen from Lakewood.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were doing that show from right up here, so that was exciting.
Did you get to kick a field goal or throw a football? How's your arm?
I did hold a football when I went over to the City Hall of San Francisco today.
You just held the football like a baby.
But no, the mayor of San Francisco passed the ball to me as the mayor of the city of Houston.
Oh, did you catch it?
I caught it.
Of course you caught it. It's Houston. We've got the Houston mayor here.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me about, we're looking at the business angle, right?
Okay.
What does this mean for Houston's economy? What businesses are going to come?
It could mean as much as $500 million being pumped into the Houston economy.
Oh, my gosh.
More than 1 million people will be coming to Houston next year. So we are getting pumped up. We're excited. Can you imagine? This is our opportunity to be on the international global stage. And Houston is getting ready. In fact, I think we're ready. And so we're here to kind of check out what San Francisco is doing. But when it comes to Houston, we will be off the chain.
Oh, yeah. What are we going to show off?
Well, you know, look, we're the most diverse city in the country. Mm-hmm. Most people don't even realize that. We're more diverse than New York, San Francisco, LA,
That's
DC.
right.
So we're diverse. We've got the port, we've got the medical center. We've got a new Discovery Green right downtown.
Yes,
that wasn't here 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, the last time the Super Bowl was in Houston was in 2004. And so we're going to have a new Marriott Marquis Hotel. That's another 1,100 rooms. And then right in front, between the Marriott Marquis and the George R. Brown, that's going to be Restaurant Row.
Oh, yeah.
You know, clubs and hot spots that
We
people
like
can
food.
attend. So we have a lot to show off in the city of Houston. It's our opportunity to let people know who we are and to tell Houston's story, and that's one of the reasons why many of us are in San Francisco right now.
And they are going to learn. They're going to learn Houston is a place to visit, to come to, right?
Well, I think what they're going to learn is that nobody can party better than Houstonians.
We're going to prove that. Okay, and we also wanted to ask, the police chief, McClellan, he's resigned. Security is a huge thing that we are dealing with. We're seeing it all over San Francisco. Department of Homeland Security's here, but cops on every corner just to keep an eye on things. What's going on there? And of course, we need someone strong to lead HPD.
Well, we're going to be ready. I mean, Chief McClellan, I mean, he will continue to be with us until February 26th. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's been with the HPD for 39 years. He has championed and led that city, the police department, well in the city of Houston. So I want to congratulate him for his years of service.
Absolutely.
39 years. At the same time, we're getting ready. The Super Bowl is the largest single sports event in the United States. It's not just a local issue, it's a national security matter. There'll be more than 60 law enforcement agencies that will be coordinating. So it's not just HPD, it's HPD, it's the Sheriff's Department, Metro, federal agencies, all of that. And some with me up in San Francisco to check out the logistics of how they're doing things right now. We'll be more than ready, we'll be more than prepared when the Super Bowl comes to Houston in 2017.
So bottom line, they've got this covered. This is going to be an amazing Super Bowl. One of the most important questions we should ask
What's that? What you got? What you got?
Okay. We don't have any control over who the NFL picks for their halftime show, but Beyonce's doing it this year. Beyonce's from Houston. What are you thinking for next year?
Well, quite frankly, I think we need to have a major Super Bowl entertainment night with Texas talent.
I like that.
You got Beyonce, you got Lyle Lovett. Forrest Whitaker is even from Houston.
We could get him.
So there's tremendous amount of talent, and then who knows? We can showcase a lot of talent that may exist.
Right.
Can you sing?
No. Can you sing? We'll have you sing, Mr. Mayor. All right, thank you so much for talking
Thanks
with
for
us.
having me.
That is the latest from San Francisco. Make sure you stick with us. We are sticking with them to check out all the behind the scenes and to bring you what is coming up next year for Super Bowl in Houston. Let's send it back to you, Isaiah.
Thanks a lot, Angela Chen, and make sure you thank the mayor for fixing those 12 potholes. I have a few more for him to go right here in the city of Houston, and you guys have a great time in San Francisco covering the Super Bowl. In the meantime, coming up this weekend, the big game, the Super Bowl. We will have Lauren Kelly and DK coming back in just a moment to discuss that with us. Now, here's one of the Super Bowl commercials you can expect to see this weekend.
Oh, my beer, lovely. Hello. I'm Helen Mirren, a notoriously frank and uncensored British lady. The collective, we are dumbfounded that people still drive drunk. So I'll sum it up like this. If you drive drunk, you, simply put, are a short-sighted, utterly useless, oxygen-wasting human form of pollution, a Darwin Award-deserving, selfish coward. If your brain was donated to science, science would return it. So stop it. Now, the chances are you're a fun, solid, respectable human being. Don't be a pillock. Your friends and family thank you. The friends and family of other drivers thank you. Your future self thanks you. This is supposed to be fun. Cheers. Nice and cold.
Isaiah Factor Uncensored. We're live here at the Union Kitchen, and we're talking politics now. We have Kathleen with us. Also, we have Margaret Justice with us, and we are going to talk politics. Now, guys, I have not been excited about this presidential campaign at all.
Really?
On the right or on the left.
Why is that?
You know, I mean, you look on the left, Bernie Sanders is like Colonel Sanders and the Nutty Professor. Hillary could have a email that drops out of her right pantsuit pocket at any time. On the other side, you have Ted Cruz, who's like the Dark Lord from Star Wars, and you expect to hear that music playing every time he comes out. Now, I think he's the Antichrist. That's just me.
Oh.
You know, they said the Antichrist wouldn't come from hell, but he'd come from heaven above in Canada and land here in America.
Oh, my God.
So what do you guys think?
Well, let's talk about the debate with Hillary and Bernie, okay? Because it's like watching Grandma and Grandpa argue at Thanksgiving. So, you know, we have that. But I love the fact that they're arguing over Wall Street. Because if you put it in a dating analogy, Bernie would never date Wall Street. But Hillary has done the walk of shame about a dozen times in the morning with Wall Street.
Well, let's talk about who has done the walk of shame with Wall Street. Every freaking Republican candidate has done the walk of shame with Wall Street.
And every Democrat, too.
And you know what?
Well, let's quickly hear a side from Bernie and Hillary, and then we'll get back to this.
Okay.
As the entire establishment, or almost the entire establishment, behind them. That's a fact.
So I think it's time to end the very artful smear that you and your campaign have been carrying out in recent weeks. And let's talk about the issues.
Hillary and Bernie going at it for the first time. Now, Hillary has said, and her people have said, that his people have been particularly nasty towards her. Whenever her picture shows up on a screen, when they're in the same room, they boo. They're just getting particularly nasty. So how do you bring that coalition together when they decide between Bernie and Hillary? More than likely, Hillary will get the nomination.
Of course, and Hillary will get the nomination, by the way, and it's not unlike any other primary in a Republican or a Democratic campaign. The bottom line is Bernie is doing everything he can to scratch and scrape for votes against Hillary, and I'll tell you what, he'll get him in New Hampshire, but going forward, he's not going to get him at all.
But will it hurt because he's not being as nasty as he could be? His people are, and they have been paying attention to that.
Yeah, but
that his coalition has been particularly nasty and egregious towards her.
Sure, but those tactics always reflect back on the candidate. The bottom line is, you know, what is this true distinction between both candidates? The bottom line is, who's more electable? Hillary Clinton is going to be more electable than a 72-year-old Democratic socialist. God love him. God love Bernie. He's
you know
working
what?
hard.
But what's surprising about that
That's
is
age
Hillary,
discrimination if you didn't hear it. Kathleen McKinley.
Hillary goes into it with 100% name recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie went into it with probably 0.
Right.
And he's going to beat her in New Hampshire big time. So it's a big story. It's almost bigger than what's going on with this Trump circus.
True.
on the
That
right
is. It's
on
a
the
circus.
right hand side. It is a circus. I've never seen anything
No
like
doubt
it in
a
my
circus.
lifetime.
Exactly.
So I think there's something resonating there where they understand that Hillary is completely establishment and Bernie at least is honest. I don't agree with him with
Now
anything.
let's go to Marco Rubio
Okay.
going into New Hampshire. He
All right.
looks like what? I know Donald Trump is leading, but he is on Donald Trump's tail.
He's a rising star. I think he's a rising star. There's no
Look,
doubt about it.
he
Trump's in
is
trouble.
The most charismatic, well-spoken politician since Reagan in my lifetime, and that says a lot. A beautiful family, a very nice-looking, happy guy. So he
But aren't
does
they
have a
saying
lot of
everything with him is
momentum.
staged, everything is scripted,
Well,
he doesn't
so
go
is-
off of script?
Everything, you know.
Go ahead, say what you want to
Let me
say.
tell you a little.
So
let me
is
tell you
who?
a little secret. Let me tell you a little secret about the Antichrist that you talked about. Cruz. Cruz has gotten a Cambridge Analytical company that goes in. It doesn't just do polling. They do everything scientifically. He is going to outmaneuver the charismatic Rubio. That's my prediction.
I agree. I think that Trump is, his days are numbered. Let me tell you why. The guy cannot identify and work a rope line. You know what a rope line is? When you go in, you actually press the flesh. And by the way, Jeb Bush has already accused him of being a germaphobe. You know, he's like, he can't be close to people.
We
The guy-
agree on Trump.
No, the guy goes into a huge event. He doesn't use technology. He's getting
Before we
he's
run out
getting
of time,
trounced.
let's
Yeah.
get to the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Would you stop it? He's a good guy. Come on.
You know there's dark side music playing every time he enters the room.
Okay, tell me one mean thing he's done.
Tell me one good thing he's done.
Yeah.
Well, when his sister was an addict and
But let's get to
couldn't
the
help
issue.
his nephew, he
We got
scraped
1 minute.
together $20,000 to put him through school.
Got it.
That's good.
Okay,
bless him.
and let's talk about
Thank you.
his campaign where he said Dr. Ben Carson was out of the race and his
Okay.
people, and then they swayed the people in Iowa.
Okay, let's talk about that because Jake
And make it quick.
Tapper has said they did say he was going home to Florida to change clothes or something of that matter.
But they didn't say he was dropping out.
That's true, but it was surmised.
Okay.
And if you don't think dirty politics like that happens all the time in every
So you
campaign,
said Ted
of
Cruz
course,
did dirty politics.
as every politician does, yes.
Absolutely. I mean, Ted Cruz is a mastermind of it. And he's the guy, he knows how to work a campaign, though. And he did a ground game that was really perfection in Iowa. And I got to give him credit. No, I completely concur. The guy knows how to work it. But I'm going to tell you, he's still not likable. That's a huge factor.
Exactly.
And,
we'll
and
end on
that's
that
why I
note.
think the Rubio...
The Dark Lord is not likable.
Right.
We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back after this. Thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. And it's now time to get out of the box with Angela Box. And this is the time in the show I run away and get a drink. Because I know I'm not going to agree with anything this lady has to say. But you want to deal with African American, minorities, and the Oscars. Take over.
You mean the hashtag Oscars so what? Yes. Well, everyone, the latest Republican debate is tomorrow. The Super Bowl is Sunday, and Oscar season is upon us. And so is Hollywood's latest faux outrage. With the silly Twitter campaign, hashtag Oscars so white, the social engineering fetishes of liberals are on full display. Race baiters throughout the country are demanding justice, damn it, and multi-millionaire human marionette puppets are threatening to take their dollies away and not attend the Oscar ceremonies. Never mind the fact that 10% of the Oscar nominations since the year 2000 have been awarded to Black Americans or blacks in general, and that 12.5% of the American population is black, because facts do not matter to these people. I expect that during next year, when the most important people in the world, and by that I mean, of course, actors, producers, directors, and writers, meet and discuss diversity, they will of course make a new quota system for everyone to follow, because God forbid you have your own opinion. And by God, if you do not vote for a minority in any of the major categories, then you are a racist. And then, of course, there is the lovely Stacey Dash, a black Fox News contributor, and liberals who, let's be honest, hate conservatives of color. They despise them. They have spewed their venom because she is uppity enough to speak out against the Oscar race baiting. Stacey said not only is the hashtag Oscars so white stupid, but there should not be BET, the Image Awards, Black History Month, the NAACP Image Awards, or any other award or institution that purposefully segregates Americans against one another. Either we are going to be integrated or segregated, but we cannot have both. We have made tremendous progress in race relations since the Civil Rights Movement era, and that needs to be acknowledged. Is there more to be done? Of course there is. But to accuse people of racism simply on a matter of taste in movies and actors is ludicrous. Now, while I do enjoy the delicious display of seeing liberals in Hollywood eat their own, it's time to acknowledge that differing opinions do not a racist make, so get over it. And that is thinking outside the box.
Give it up for Angela Box, the director of Birth of a Nation.
Really? Oh, my Lord.
I'm like, my God in heaven. So, Angela, tell me, what world do you live in?
I live in the world of 2016 when we were fully integrated. And now, and you know, it's odd that liberals who claim to be progressives are actually regressives. I mean, these are the same people who want us to eat dirt and live in caves, and also actually want to have black Oscars now. So I'm wondering, are we going to have separate water fountains, separate busing, separate schools? Where is this going to end? This is regression, not progression. And we're either going to be integrated or not going to be integrated. You cannot have both.
We have had a horrible time with Angela Box once again. We want to thank her for coming on the Isaiah Factor on set. You know we always enjoy it.
I love you,
We'll be
Isaiah.
back after this. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. Now it's time for fun and games with DK and Lauren Kelly from Mix 96.5. Glad to have you guys aboard on the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
Thanks for having us. We're excited.
You guys, you haven't been here in Houston a very long time. Tell me a little bit
She
about
has. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
new to town. I've been here about 6 months, co-host of the Dave Mahoney and DK Morning Show on Mix 96.5. And Lauren is basically a legend here in Houston. You've been here for a long time.
I paid her to say that. It's totally fine. No, not really. I'm born and raised, though, so I've been here. Welcome these guys with open arms. We're really excited to be here tonight, though.
Well, glad to have both of you guys here. Now, tell us, what do you have for us going on the internet and sports, all of the great topics?
We've got a little bit of everything tonight, so we're going to start with kind of a sad story that really breaks my heart. An internet star, she was known as the queen of Snapchat. Her name was Katie May. She died after suffering a stroke at only 34 years old, and she'd been suffering some pain, and she kind of was getting it treated, and then the massive stroke was caused by a carotid artery. She leaves behind a 7-year-old daughter, to which they've set up an education fund for. So our prayers are really going out to this wonderful person on Snapchat. She was a Playboy model. She had really everything going for her, and then just trauma struck, and it's really sad news. So at 34 years old, may she rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never expect something like that to happen suddenly.
Exactly.
And she's leaving behind a little daughter, so.
And so
heartbreaking
very
news.
young.
Yeah.
So young.
Yeah.
So young.
What's next on the list?
Next, we're going to talk about Playboy's first non-nude issue. I don't know if you
Throw
guys
it
heard
away.
about that.
Waste of time.
Wait a minute, they might be onto something, or I
it's
don't
good
know.
reading, right?
Right.
For sure, the articles, yeah.
Sarah McDaniel is gracing the March 2016 cover. She's the first, basically, model that's going to be their non-nude model. She says that the idea was to have people look at her like the boyfriend looks at a girlfriend. They're not going to change much else about Playboy, except they're going to have something called the Franco file, where James Franco does interviews every single month with a new guest. So I don't know how I feel about this. Do you guys think it's going to sell with no
Absolutely
nudity?
not. Absolutely
sounds
not.
like a
this
little
is the way
softer
young
read.
boys' dreams die.
Well,
with class.
it's definitely going to be a softer read, but...
Next up on
All
the
right,
list.
so onto this viral picture, I have to talk about this. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's 3 ladies in a car. 2 of them are twin daughters, along with their mother. And basically the caption says, "Tell us who you think is the mom."
Mm-hmm.
They all look so beautiful, so young, and so identical that you really can't tell which one is the mother. Take a look at this picture. Can you tell, Isaiah?
Absolutely
look at them.
not.
Can I give you a hint?
Further proof, black don't crack.
Well, shoot,
That's so
DK,
true.
we are out. We are out. Okay.
I started cracking at like 24, so I don't know.
She is the one on the left, if you're curious. So check out
I
that
never would have
Snapchat.
guessed it. They're all beautiful.
Beautiful.
I don't know if you guys have heard about the new Oscars gift bags. Every year they do something lavish for all of
always
the
outrageous.
nominees. I mean, we get sandwiches sent to our station, and
We're
my
like,
eyes get
yeah,
big.
sandwiches!
But they get $200,000 gift bags. Wow. Some of the things included are $50,000 vacations. There's a $1,900 vampire breast lift that all of the nominees are getting.
What is that?
Are they giving these to the men and the women? I don't know. Because I'm sure some of the men could use a breast lift as well.
In Hollywood.
But for free, I mean, I'd take it.
Wow, over $200,000 is insane. Yeah. That's insane. Speaking of Hollywood, Ryan Reynolds has been doing a bunch of promotion for his new movie, Marvel Comics. It's going to be Deadpool, and he is actually telling young men and women to touch themselves.
Wait. What do you mean?
In a positive way. They are doing testicular cancer treatment. Not treatment.
Positive
Well,
way.
yeah, I mean, so take a look at this. Take a look at this.
Message is brought to you by Deadpool.
Okay, ladies, listen up. If you catch your man with his hands down his pants, blame me. I've been telling him to check his walnuts for lumps and bumps so he can give testicular cancer a kick in the balls. But my good deeds don't stop there. Did you know that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer at some point in their life? So it looks like you've got some fumbling to do yourself. Watch this video and try not to think of me while it's on. Seriously.
Self-examination is an important part of detecting the early signs of breast cancer.
So what do you think?
So whatever Ryan Reynolds tells me to do, I'm going to do. That's it. Done.
I've been doing what Ryan Reynolds has been telling us to do for way longer than he told us to do it. So
speaking of Hollywood, I've got to mention with the big game, the Super Bowl happening this weekend, everybody's talking about the commercials. What are they going to be? What are some of the favorites going to be? And I got a couple that we brought to talk about.
Okay.
So let's start with the Pantene commercial. It's the dad do. So it's a couple of football players.
I love it.
Doing their daughter's hair, which if you've ever had your dad do your hair, they're not the...
I don't know why I didn't make these.
Not the worst, and these are so sweet. So take a look at the very first Pantene commercial with a couple of NFL players.
The heart, it's probably not a whole lot of style.
Who knows? I mean, maybe there's a post-career here. What you giggling about?
I love you, Dad.
When you look in the mirror, who do you see?
Now, you know they're hiring people to do their daughter's hair.
Oh, no, they're not.
Their
Look at that style.
Even their
Look at the
mom.
barrettes. They're not
For the
doing that.
commercial.
those dads can do my hair better than I can do my own hair.
On to the next one. We're going to go to a couple of the Doritos commercials. Doritos letting people pick out of 3 which one they want to see at the big game. First, we're going to start with the baby. It is, well, just take a look for this at yourself. Yeah.
And there's your beautiful baby. Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do?
I know.
Give me that.
And there's your beautiful baby. Any day now. Really?
I want us to check out
I
one
love
more from
Doritos. They're
the
always
best. Yeah,
great.
the
They're
best,
always
right?
great.
They're always the best. One more from Doritos. Check out this Doritos Dogs commercial.
Okay.
It's just as good.
Go, get, shoot.
Hey.
Out, get.
Did you find everything okay, sir? What?
Have a good day, sir.
I love her
There
reaction.
it is. I love it.
I
I
know,
love it.
they're
It's a
the
great
best.
commercial.
They're the best. They're the
You
best.
couldn't do any better than that. Now, let's go on to Johnny Manziel.
Wow.
He cannot catch a break.
I don't know that he can't catch a break. He keeps getting himself into trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think that he has anyone to blame but himself. This is just coming off last week, the allegations of domestic abuse where he allegedly pulled his girlfriend by her hair, shoved her in the car, allegedly hit her. The police have closed that investigation. But since then, his agent has dropped him. His father has come out and said if he doesn't get his life right, basically, he said he's going to be dead by 24. So his own family
dad
is
to
saying
say
this.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Browns have basically announced they're going to drop him on March 9th, which is the first day of the next NFL season.
Now, we hear that there's a new investigation that's just been opened into assault, right?
This is brand new, I guess, breaking news, I'd say. There's a new assault case out of Dallas that something else went wrong with Johnny Manziel. And if this guy doesn't get it together, and I don't know that it's just, bad luck. I think he just makes bad choices.
Bring it on. Speaking of football, let's jump to the Texans really fast. They just announced that they're going to be taking their big cross-country road game to a different location other than London this year. The international series will have the Texans playing the Raiders in, drumroll please, Mexico City.
Okay.
So the players better brush up on their Spanish before November the 21st.
I don't like it.
No?
No, I'd rather have another game here in Houston.
Oh, right,
I don't want them playing down in Mexico.
No.
I'm not going to
What's
go
wrong
to that
with
game.
Mexico?
I like Mexico, but if it's between here in Houston and Mexico, I'm going to a game here.
True.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys. We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back. And welcome back to the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. We're here with Mix 96.5, DK, and Lauren Kelly. Want to thank you guys for joining us. Some of the other things going on. Resting bitch face?
Oh, gosh.
Is that what you call it?
You say it like you don't know about it.
Do you know what it is?
I learned yesterday.
DK's got, snap.
I'm not
She's
mad.
got-
I'm not unhappy. I'm not a bitch. I just look like one. That's what it is.
It's when you can't help your face but look mean, bitchy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just born this way. But yes,
So
I'm
is
very
it just
familiar.
a female thing, or can it be
No.
a male thing?
It's scientifically, they've proven now that both men and women can have it. So we're not alone, everyone. We're not
Now,
alone.
somebody else is on Snapchat, and he's not quite doing it right.
Well, JJ Watt just joined Snapchat. If you haven't seen, it's jjwatt.99. But check out his Instagram, because he just posted a photo with a young lady named Victoria Justice, and I don't know how happy I am about this because they look smitten.
Yeah.
So check it out and tell us what you think.
She's an actress, by the way.
Yeah, she's from
on
Nickelodeon. She's 22 years old. She's gorgeous. I don't know if anything's going on, but I wouldn't be surprised.
We'll
Well,
see
we
the
want to
other
thank you guys for joining us here on the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. We'll be back with who? Mike Jones and the controversy he's facing. They say he's a pimp now. We'll clear that up in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. And as you have seen throughout the night, we have a new home. We're in the high rent district in Bel Air. We're no longer on food stamps and WIC vouchers. We have the manager, general manager of Union Kitchen here, Mike Lilly. First of all, thank you for allowing us in. Be a good landlord to us, won't you? What can we expect from the restaurant?
Well, we're a great restaurant. We've been here since July 2010. We were opened up by Paul Miller. We're part of the Great Plate Hospitality family. We also have a location in Memorial, Kingwood. We also have the 2 Jack's Grills, one in Bel Air, one off of Shepherd. We consider ourselves an upscale casual restaurant. neighborhood restaurant as well.
All right. And we want to thank you for allowing the Isaiah Factor Uncensored in your home.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming
Mike
in.
Lilly.
Back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all want me.
Before I came up in the game, nobody showed me love. They see me in the club and used to treat me like a scrub.
He's topped the charts with big hits that had the whole nation singing. You know him. Who? Mike Jones.
I'm Mike Jones, Mike Jones, the one and only. You can't clone me. Got a lot of haters and a lot of homies. Some friends and some phony.
Jones shot up the charts, making him another high-profile Houston entertainer who had the whole world tipping. And out of the blue, Mike Jones became the target of a terrible hoax. A fake news article came out alleging Jones was indicted by the feds as a bona fide pimp who had a stable of prostitutes working out of the San Antonio area.
Now, you have had to deal with this, Mike Jones. A fake news article came out saying that you have gone from a chart-topping music artist, rapper, actor here in the city of Houston and around the country to a pimp. So how do you deal with that?
Man, like, it's hard to fight a rumor, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you know it ain't true. You know, you just gotta, you know, just let the truth eventually come out, you know, and we nothing but have respect for the women, so we would never do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So
now, when it comes down to the details, they say there was a federal indictment, and the San Antonio Police Department had you in custody, and you have proof to refute all of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, for one, I mean, we been had the proof. It's just people wasn't really trying to listen then, you know, because
people like rumors.
Yeah,
they like the negativity.
Yeah, they just like the negativity. So when it came out the first time, we tried to show them the proof, and they weren't trying to see it. So it went from that to it coming out again, and then we finally just had to, you know, well, let's go on and call the sergeant and let's go on and clear it up, you know.
Now, how does it feel to you to have fans for so many years, and all of a sudden, many of them are willing to turn on you after reading something you know is not true?
I mean, in a way, I kind of understand like how, you know, perception is crazy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like do believe what they see once it pop up. But I knew like the true fans would know like when the time is right, and they've been knowing me for so long. Like that ain't my character. You know, that ain't how I get down. You know what I'm saying?
And how has it damaged you personally and professionally in your career?
I mean,
or has it?
I mean, it was turbulence. I say, you know, because anytime you can be about to get a job, and once something like that comes, it might slow you down from getting a job. But once the proof comes back out, you know, people are apologetic and ready to get back to, you know, work, you know.
And now you have a new album coming out. You have a new tour. Tell me a little bit about that and how you move on.
Well, I actually got a movement called Money Train, and I got a lot of artists, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of producers that's coming under this new movement that's really on the way, that's finna, you know, not only put on, but, you know, let everybody know, you know, what Mike Jones been up to and what I'm coming with.
So how can people, if they want to get involved, become a part of the Money Train? I have the Isaiah team. It's small budget.
Oh, no, man. As long as you're budgeting, you're doing your thing, man. As long as you're budgeting, you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Do you have any, you're living in Dallas now, right?
Well, yeah, I'm back and forth, Dallas, Atlanta, you know, because, yeah, still moving around, yeah.
All right. Well, Mike Jones, we want to thank you for coming on the Isaiah Factor and clearing up the rumors.
Thank you.
Once again, he is not running prostitutes from San Antonio at all, period. We'll be back with more Isaiah Factor Uncensored after this. Is that a game, sir?
H-time.
Oh, okay. Hey. We'll be back after this.
Hey.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Do you ever scratch your head when you see criminals committing crazy crimes? Well, we call this segment Crazy Ass Criminals. Take a look.
We don't call these numbskulls crazy-ass criminals for nothing because their crimes will simply blow you away. Or it may be the lack of blowing that caused 53-year-old Patrick Doggett to get arrested by the Popo. You see, this man from Georgia became so upset his side piece wouldn't break him off a slice of some loving that he actually called 911. Old Pat said his Viagra prescription was just filled and he needed to put it to work. Too bad he's behind bars now with those natural urges. Georgia is a state that just keeps on giving when it comes to crazy-ass criminals. Take a look at the facial expression on Linda Black. The headlights are on. She can see you coming a mile away. Police said she may have had the wide-awake look on her face because while she was being arrested on an outstanding warrant, she tried to hide her crack by swallowing it. She'll be selling VCRs to the pawn shop for a month. Oh, you can't catch a crackhead after they steal your stuff. You're out of luck. Pamela Downs is probably the most patriotic person in these United States. When her commander-in-chief tells her to do something, she gets right on it. For example, she read a fake news article in the website Skunk that said President Obama wants you to print your own money. And this 45-year-old is not one to disobey the president. Police say she went to her neighborhood Walmart, bought a printer and paper, and began printing her own money and tried to use it. God bless you, Pamela Downs. You are truly a patriotic, crazy-ass criminal. And last but not least, if you're going to lay up with Elizabeth Hargreave, make sure your sleeping game is on point. Because believe me, the cops say Big Liz does not play. Here's the deal. The 58-year-old Nebraska woman said her boyfriend would not stop snoring at night and she was tired of it. So what did she do? Mama Liz went upside his head with a crowbar while he was sleeping. Now she's sleeping in peace and quiet like a queen in the county lockup. Oh dude, her boyfriend may not be snoring anytime soon. That's it for Crazy Ass Criminals. Until next time, remember, I don't have your bail money.
That is it for the Isaiah Factor Uncensored. We want to thank you for joining us on this Friday night. We want to thank my news director, Bob Morford, who's here, assistant news director, Howard Dorsey, executive producer, Brandis Bailey, and all the staff and crew here with Fox 26. And we want to thank Union Kitchen and you for watching. That's it. Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
This newscast brought to you by Carpet Giant.